Good afternoon. My name is Ian Osberg, class of 2017, and I am proud to present the undefeated 1981 varsity football team for induction in the Hall of Fame. Led by head coach Rick Francis and assistant coaches Steve Purrington and Jay Redinger and Robert Shaw, 76, the 1981 varsity football team was the first Williston football team to go undefeated since the 1963 squad. Outscoring their opponents 217-61, the 1981 team enjoyed a tremendous season, including 2 shutouts. Co-captains Steve Kay and Steve Oken led the team to average game scores of 31-7. Proving impenetrable on defense, the team allowed 0 touchdown passes during the season, while limiting opponents to an average of 2 yards per rushing attempt. The defense held all 8 opponents to under 100 yards total offense in each game, never giving up more than 14 points in any one game. Offensively, the team was led by a dynamic quartet of skill players. Quarterback Scott Estes, receiver Mike Deutsch, and running back Steve Kay and Steve Oken. Oken led the team in rushing with 585 yards, while Deutsch had a tremendous year with over 1,000 all-purpose yards. The team finished its special season in style when it defeated rival Gunnery 50-14 in its last game. Will the members of the Williston Northampton 1981 football team who are with us today, Mike Deutsch, John Hexamer, Steve Kay, Rodney Moore, Hank Bear, Dave Rogers, Joe Tarantino, Todd Francis, Joey Boynton, Coach Francis, and coaches Purrington and Shaw, please join us on stage to receive your awards.
Good job, Ian.
We can just slide down to here. We'll do some presentations here. I'll hand this to you, Coach.
Thank you, my friend.
You betcha.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, it's great to be home again. It's a great honor to be here with you today to represent the 1981 Williston Wildcat football team. This was a special group of student athletes that came together and was able to achieve what only one other Williston football team has ever done before, and that's go undefeated. For this team, it all started with Coach Francis. We're fortunate to have played for a legend, and Coach Francis had a huge impact on us. We had our share of contact in practice, and we were tough and battle ready. Coach preached discipline and understanding the details of the game. We made a change that year to a pro-style offense to take advantage of our skill sets. And we drilled and drilled and drilled. We studied game film as a team on Friday nights in preparation for our Saturday game. Coach had us well prepared, physically and mentally. To this day, I follow the principles that Coach taught us. To be humble, to be disciplined, and to work hard. Coach Francis is here, He was a head football coach at Williston for 42 years. He was also the athletic director, a really good math teacher, and a proud father of 2 Williston grads, both great guys and friends of mine, Jeff Francis and Todd Francis. Coach Francis was inducted into the Williston Northampton School Hall of Fame in 2013. Just take a minute to recognize Coach Francis. I also want to recognize Jay Grant. Jay Grant's first year here was my first year. Sophomore year, we shared the same hall. And Jay was chugging Orange Crush then also. He was a young buck back then. Jay worked tirelessly behind the scenes as head trainer and managing all the equipment. And I remember Jay as a good guy who always cared about his players. And we talk about concussions. Concussion protocol back in 1981. When we got our bell rung, we came to the sideline, there was Jay. Jay held up a couple fingers. If you got that right, Jay would ask you to score. You looked up at the scoreboard, you got that right? And then he pulled the ammonia strip out and he broke it, and you sniffed the ammonia and you're back in the game. That was concussion protocol in 1981. That's why we look the way we do now. Talent, we had some talent on this team. 9 of the upperclassmen went on to play college ball. The season was a special one. We started out at a Vermont Academy, 17-0, we won that game. And the second game against Canterbury, we won 18-7. The third game was against Westminster. I know we have some Westminster folks here in the administration. We destroyed them 35-6. It felt good. We like beating Westminster. Every year we beat them. Our big games that year were away at Loomis and Suffield. Loomis was a conference with the larger schools and always a tough opponent, and we took care of them 17-6. Our big rival at the time was Suffield. Both teams met mid-season the previous year, both undefeated, and Suffield had taken that one. It was the same situation in 1981. Both teams undefeated and 5-0. It was Parents' Weekend or homecoming there. It was a huge crowd. We trailed by TD at halftime, and we sat in the end zone, took a knee, and listened to Coach Francis, and I'm sure we looked a bit shocked. And Francis looked over his shoulder, and we watched the Suffield guys hooping and hollering and high-fiving. And he looked back at us and said, "You've got them right where you want them." We went out on the field and dominated the second half and won that game 29-14. Oh yeah. We like beating Suffield. A snapshot of how explosive our offense was. It was a gunnery game. It was the last game of the year. And at halftime, Coach said, we're not going to throw the ball in the second half. So the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter was a quarterback sweep to our quarterback, Scott Estes. Scott broke it for 80 yards for a touchdown. We just destroyed them. This team was dynamic on both sides of the ball, special teams, offense, and defense. They averaged 27 points per game on offense and only let up 7.6 points per game on defense, and we got after it. It was a special season, and there was a certain buzz on campus. The whole Williston community rallied behind us. It was just an incredible time. On behalf of the whole team, everyone is here, all the other guys that couldn't be here today, I thank you so much for this great honor.
Thank you, Steve. I'm just reminded there are only two words that I ever taught you in those days: heads and tails.